Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing amazing. I have a really special video for y'all today, okay? Now, I know y'all hear me reference this man and talk about this man all the time. And I had to bring him on here for y'all to be introduced. So please say hello to no other than the one and the only, my daddy, Daddy Six.
Hello.
Hey!
Hey, baby.
Hey!
Hey, girly.
I'm so glad you came on here. Y'all, I have been harassing him to come on here. And I cornered him, literally. Y'all see how I got him in the corner? I'm like, you gonna come on here.
Help me. No.
So, Mr. Saxophone Man, Mr. Tony Chambers.
Yes.
So, we want to hear because, you know, I feel fortunate that in present day and age, I'm able to have a good relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Perfect.
And it's not the norm for us, just kind of as Black people,
That's
as society. So many women are not able to have that relationship with their father.
Yes.
So I want to first say I'm very grateful that me and you are where we are and that we are now best friends. I can talk to you about anything. That is very important to me. I really respect your opinion. You have so much wisdom. You've lived so much life.
Yes.
So can you first, before we get started on everything else, I want people to understand who you are. Can you tell us a little bit about your music and your talents and your traveling and your business?
All right. First of all, let me say happy Sunday, everyone. And I am so proud to be here with my daughter. And I'm freaking nervous. I just want to tell you. And I'm nervous. This is a really hard one because she's so tough. And you guys know the Six doesn't play. Okay? So I feel like I'm in the hot seat in the corner, like when you're a bad kid, you go to the corner. Go to the corner. So, but anyway, listen, yes. But on a serious note, first of all, this is the most absolute best thing that could ever have happened to me is being able to be a part of bringing y'all such a beautiful young lady, an intelligent, smart young lady. This is my biggest accomplishment in life, having a daughter like her. So I want to say that right off the bat. That's first.
Oh, Daddy.
Secondly, I am a musician. I've been playing saxophone for a while, and it has taken me places that I probably would have never have gotten to go had I not been able to be, a saxophone player. And especially with you, Six. You're the greatest. I love you through the moon, through the whatever, and back. And there is nothing that I would not do for you. And for you fellas out there, I'm her dad, and I will shoot your ass. Okay. So
They
yeah.
don't want no smoke.
No
so
smoke.
Daddy, so with all that you've seen in your life, what advice, what is like the first thing you think of what advice you give to young man? Let's say a young man just graduated high school, getting ready to start his life, like where you are now as an OG, what would be your number one piece of advice to the brothers?
My number one piece of advice to the young brothers out there is to buck the system only if it's beneficial and it's legal and it's right. I'm not telling you to go out here and sell drugs. I'm not telling you to go out here and be a pimp. I'm not telling you anything. When someone tells you something that you can't do and you know in your heart you can do it, as long as it's legal and right, do it. But your mother doesn't want you to be a doctor or your dad doesn't want you to be a nurse or something, and that's what you want to be, buck the system and do it and show them, because ultimately it's you at the end of the day that you have to deal with in your life.
So would you say that as for Black men, would you say going through your life and going after what you want to do you see the difference in the obstacles that may come up for you as brothers as opposed to people who are non-Black? Like, do you feel like things are harder for brothers? And if so, what things have you experienced in your life where you felt like because I'm a brother, this may have made things harder?
Well, straight up, this color right here, you're behind it's a strike against you. But I will say at this day and time, the world, society is a lot lenient on this color, but you still got to go the extra mile. So therefore, it's more acceptable for a black man, okay? Yes, we still have the issue with the police, you still have discrimination, you're gonna have that. That's never going away. But the road is a little bit smoother because of people like me and before me. So in other words, you have no excuse, my brothers.
So you say brothers need to get to it. You feel like no excuses.
No excuses.
Make it happen as long as there's breath in their body.
As long as there's breath in your body and determination in your brain, you can gain, baby.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Daddy. So me and you, so you know I like to talk a lot about black relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, before I was born, when you were kind of doing your thing, when you met my mom, what was black love like? Like, were people really coupling up, getting married? Were people more wild? Like, what did black love look like 33 years ago?
Black love has always been black love, but there's just been different levels of black love. When I was coming up, sex was free. People were more free. I mean, they're free now with sex, but they are freer back then.
That was the beginning of it.
It was the beginning of it.
Okay.
You know, I came in when in the 60s and the 70s, when, you know, it's like peace and love, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So y'all were really like that. So it was really on some like hippies, like do what you want. Y'all was getting it in back then.
We was getting it in. I'm trying to say, straight up, bang, bang, bang.
So so it wasn't necessarily promoted to get married and have a family and sit down. Was it more of the party lifestyle?
Okay, people were just more apt to just make love. You know, so there wasn't a whole lot of black love in the public's eye, but behind the scenes it was a lot of black love. It was a lot of freedom, a lot of just enjoying yourself, music, just having a great time.
So do you think it's best for black people to be together?
I absolutely think it's best for black people to be together. But the point is, you have to live a little before you can settle.
And see, now I'm so glad you said that, Daddy, because they sell us this narrative that we should get married by 21 and sit down, and if you're not married by 25, you're leftovers and you're trash. So through all your living, would you say you disagree with that? Because I also disagree with that. I feel like you need to learn who you are, learn what you like, what you don't like, you need to make mistakes, get back up. I feel like if the right one happens to come along young and y'all have help, it's one thing, but you should live, get to know yourself before you commit yourself to someone. So listen, how you feel about that?
I feel like when you're young and you're 20 and 21, you don't need to be married. This is the time of life where you do all the dumb shit. This is the time of life where you make mistakes. You're supposed to make mistakes. And I think what happens is when people get young to married and they spend 30 years together, they have inner regrets that I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and I didn't do this.
I see that all the time.
And then, you know, now you're 50 and you have regrets, and then you begin to resent maybe not that person, but the situation, which is called your marriage.
Yeah.
Live a little, have fun before you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there are literally scholars, like some of my favorite scholars that have done studies on this and said couples that get married after 30 and have children after 30 have higher success rates, and it's better for the children. And I see why. Again, who I am at 32 and who I was at 22 is two totally different things. I'm not the same person at all. God help whoever would have married me at 22. I would have evolved into a whole different person. Then they're divorcing and talking about irreconcilable, we grew apart. So Daddy, you know, for me as a young woman, you know, I've been dating and having my experience with relationships. So through what you've seen with me, through things that went down, like present day, what would be your best advice to the ladies who are dating and looking to settle down? What would be your best advice about men and how we deal with them?
First of all and foremost, never tell a man what you're looking for. Let him figure it out. Let him figure out what's your favorite color. Let him figure out what you like to eat. See, when you give a man, and brothers, y'all might get mad at me, but I'm about to put it on that.
They got to get mad at it. Tell us the game.
Okay.
They'll be all right. Put us in the game, Ghost.
The first thing y'all do when you meet a brother is, well, you know what? I like to go fishing. This nigga ain't never fished in his life. But guess what? I like to fish too.
Daddy, I've done that.
You know what I'm saying?
I've done that.
I know you have. And
have done that. In the beginning, I've done that. Like, I want to get married. I love to travel. I love to.
Yeah.
And it makes them like pretend to be that, right?
That's right. They give you give them a canvas to paint you a lie. And that's why you have so many failed relationships, and you ladies are disappointed because you telling these dudes what you like, what you need, what you looking for. But baby, I'm all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all that. Hey, damn, baby girl. You like the opera? Ooh, I like the damn opera too. Ain't never been to an opera a day in my damn life, and I hate opera. To the fat lady sing. That's the truth. I mean, come on. Big roll. That's right. All that shit.
And you know what? That makes sense, Daddy. So what should we do? So when they ask us, okay, because it's hard, Daddy. So let's say if you do want to be married, you do want to have kids. How do you figure out, if the guy want that too without straight up asking?
Well, because a lot of times when you straight up tell a man, I want to be married, sometimes y'all run their ass away to get in hell because they don't want to be married. If you talk about
right, so isn't that a good thing? Like to get him, like if he don't want that, isn't it a good thing to kind of get him up out of there?
Well, I mean that's okay. It's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of good, then again, it's not kind of good. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, ladies, is that back in my day, we had to figure out what you wanted. And back when I was coming up, that's why you had more people staying married longer than you do today. Okay, especially in the black family. In my neighborhood, there were people that were married 20 and 30 years and nothing could crack them. You understand? Because they figured it out naturally. You can't rush the knight in shining armor. Every man that you meet is not your potential knight in shining armor. And as ladies, y'all like, oh, he's nice. Okay, this might be my man. I want to be married. I want 35 kids and all this shit. Let nigga go. You know what I'm saying? Relax. Those things have to come to you naturally. Naturally.
So you think we need to kind of slow down and just observe more what he's doing as opposed to giving him the roadmap?
Slow down and don't open your legs so fast. Make it work for it.
Yeah. So how long you think a woman should wait before she give up some fruit?
I think this just depends on the individual. I don't believe what Steve Harvey, 90-day rule and all that crap. Who the fuck is he anyway? But I'm just saying.
Why niggas don't like Steve Harvey?
Because he ain't no damn doctor.
He
got a GED.
Do you know who Derek Jackson is?
No, who's Derek Jackson?
Okay, never mind. If you don't like Steve Harvey, you probably wouldn't like him.
I mean, but these brothers kill me, get up here trying to tell me how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you. So, Daddy, like, as women, like, what things should we be looking for first before we give a man some fruit?
Natural ability.
What that
natural ability to just do something that you're thinking and he does it.
He like kind of anticipate our needs.
That's right. Because one thing about a good brother, you ain't got to ask him shit. He's gonna naturally do it.
Okay, so you're telling us like we shouldn't ask a man like you need it. Like we should see what he do on his own.
That's the best way. See what you got. Don't force it. Because you tell him what you want him to do. Again, you give him the canvas to paint the whatever. Because a lot of times niggas just want the cookies and they will go through hell to get it. They'll lie to you. They'll tell you all kinds of stories. They'll be whatever you want them to be until they get tired of it. And it's on to the next train. Ladies, lay back and let them figure it out for you. Let them figure out what you like and what you need. I mean, you can mention things or something sometime, but do not be so forward about what you're looking for and what you need, because truly a brother, a real Negro, it's just a natural flow, man. It's the action.
So what's your advice with this, Daddy? Because this is something that can be confusing as a woman. What are some things that a man would do that if he does this, the woman should immediately stop dealing with him? Like, what is some things that if a man does, he definitely? Because thing about you, Daddy, is I can have you meet someone I'm dating and like right away you be knowing like he's full of shit, he's not like. What are some of the factors that we as women should be looking for where it's like if he do this, it's not it? Like what are some specific things? Like, we know for a fact if this happens, he definitely ain't shit. Like, what are some things you can look for?
Okay, here's one. The main one is excuses. Excuses. When you meet a man and, you know, well, you might tell him, well, listen, I'd like to have lunch today. Hey, well, I can't do it. Or he doesn't talk to you at a certain time of night. He doesn't talk to you at a certain time of day. Always excuses. Something's excuses. But he loves you, and y'all, you know, we're going to make it. It's excuses. You see, again, it goes back to just being patient, ladies. Just being patient. Damn what society says if you 21 or 25 and you ain't married. That's that. It's
because
the
they be putting
individual
pressure on things.
Yeah.
But I feel like before you get married, before you have children, if you see that there's things in that person that's not sustainable long term,
right,
it's best to get out before it gets, you know.
If a man is always late, get the hell away from him. Late.
Now, what that mean?
He's always late. Like, you're supposed to go out on a date. You're supposed to do this. He's supposed to call you. He never calls like he says. There's some other stuff going on.
So now, what does it mean? Like, let's say we don't ask a man for anything, and the man never offered to do anything. What does that mean?
He's not for you.
So if the man does not try to help us with anything, try to offer anything,
he's not for you.
You can guarantee he's not the one.
See, there's a thing inside a man, right? There's a mechanism. It's called a need to love, a need to nourish. If a man doesn't have those needs for you, dead fish in the water.
You know, I think that's where a lot of us go wrong. Is we feel like we're doing a good thing by not like asking or expecting things, but what you're saying makes sense. A man can really talk to you all day. It's about, is he going to share his resources, his ability to help, to assist, to support. Right. Yeah.
Talk is cheap.
Okay. So now I want to talk to them a little bit about how I got here. All right. So can you tell them the story about how you met? Because Daddy, I'm your only child.
That's right.
Now, can you tell us why that is? Like, you only had one child. Like, why you never wanted to have more children? And be honest, like I'm because I'm at this point.
Okay, fuck it, I pulled out.
I'm thinking you about to have. I'm thinking about to have this deep.
Off to the right, crooked or something. Shit. I hit one bullseye in my lifetime. And I'm happy. I'm good.
Okay, so tell us a story about how you met my mom.
Okay, so I met her mother. I was living in Philadelphia. I moved to Philadelphia, actually, and from North Carolina.
For those of y'all don't know, y'all know I'm a Florida girl, but that is where I am originally clearly made and from, is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That's right, a little town called Norristown.
Yeah, right. Suburb of
Philadelphia. And so I was playing with this group back in the day called Fat Larry's Band, and I know y'all young folks.
Fat Larry's Band?
Fat Larry's Band.
I ain't never heard it.
All right, but anyway, so I was playing with them. I was playing saxophone, and we were doing something called Unity Day down in Center City. And so we were playing and everything, and so this beautiful lady, light skin, and with these, and I wear glasses. I ain't have them on, but I could still see her pretty eyes, and she just kept staring. I kept staring at her, and I had on some hot pants. You know, our shorts.
My mama had these green eyes.
Yeah.
She had these. Ooh, God bless the dead, but she had these piercing emerald green eyes.
Yeah,
when I say she was a beauty. And so, how old you were? About 27. She was about 30.
Right. We were 29 when we had you.
You were 29.
I was 29, yeah.
Because you're a little bit younger than her.
Yeah, I was a few years younger than your mom. And
yeah, so you were 27. Because I think y'all are 2 to 3 years apart. I know for a fact she was 30 when she had me.
So I must have been.
So you was 27, so you was young.
Yeah, I was young. And she was just pretty. And so we just, I said, you want to go for a ride? And we went for a ride, and we hung out all night, and we chilled. And then about 2 weeks later, she says, I'm pregnant. I was
Damn,
like,
2 weeks? Well, that thing was thin. That was an expedited. God damn. Well, that thing was thinking.
Yeah, so look.
So she tells you she's pregnant. So what is your mind?
My mind says, okay, it's mine. I'm going to take care of it. Period. Hands up, hands down. No question about it. No nothing. And
so did y'all get along? Like what was relationship? That's what I'm saying. Like what was the climate back then? Like
the relationship was that I was touring all the time, and I was living my life, and I was doing things, and it was like women, drugs, rock and roll.
So you in sex, drugs, rock and roll, and then boom, you're a father.
I'm a father.
So you kind of in a position now where it's like, oh shit,
What do I do? What do I do?
Now I remember my mom telling me she thought she couldn't have children.
Well, this is the thing. She only had one ovary.
Yeah, I remember she told me, she was like, I thought I couldn't have children.
Yeah, how did I hit that shit? Damn.
I think it was just meant for me to be here.
That's right. You were meant to be.
I truly think that.
We were your passageway to the world.
Yeah.
And whatever happened after that just happened. But we were your passageway.
Yeah.
And that's why you're sitting here looking so beautiful and gorgeous and being who you are. It is what it is.
I think it had to happen.
Yeah.
As weird and odd as it is, I feel like it had to happen. So what would you say is like, for us young people today, like where do you see a lot of where we go wrong? Like what are some things that my generation and younger be doing where you look at it and you be like, why do they operate in this way? Like where are we going wrong?
But some of it is simply because you just didn't, I'm talking about the generation a little bit younger than you. I mean, you have babies having babies. How can you raise a child and your baby yourself? You haven't lived, you haven't really suffered, you haven't struggled, you don't know what the real struggle is. So it's hard for that generation to bring up another generation. And now that generation is here at the forefront. And that's why we have disrespect among the young people against the older people and things like that. But, at the end of the day, love conquers all. At the end of the day. And I love you.
I love you, Dad.
And whatever's happened in the past, I hope you have forgiven me.
I've forgiven you.
And I love you.
We moving forward.
I love you.
You see the shirt we got here?
That's right. Look at it.
And you know what, Daddy? this is what kind of what I wanted to get into is although the things that happened in my childhood happened, the fact that my son is able to have, like, how many black boys can say, I could pick up the phone right now and call my grandfather?
He coming.
Like, I'm so grateful that my son is able to say, I have a great, dope relationship with my granddad. And I think that we may not have had the chances when I was a baby, but now with Elijah, you have stepped up and become an amazing grandfather to him.
That's right, because I don't want him lost to anything. You know what I'm saying? And if I got any hand or any say-so or concern to see this young man achieve all his ability, and like you're saying, there's so many young black boys that don't have it. Well, he has it.
So Nade, let me ask you this. So what advice for me and you, we didn't really become cool until my mid-20s. And now we're good. So but I will say this. I was not able to fully love the black man, have respect for the black man, until I learned how to fully love and forgive and respect you. Once I really connected to you and built my relationship with you, it has given me this ability to be able to be a support and be a nurturer to a black man in ways I couldn't before. So I have so much respect now for our relationship and where we are, because through loving you, it has enabled me to love my son better, love better in my relationships. So what advice would you give to women who may have an estranged relationship with their father? Is it ever too late? What advice would you give as far as reconciling? Because you came to me and was like, I am sorry, I want to be in your life. And then from then, you have consistently been here and been loving on me, loving on Elijah. Like you really you decided that you was going to make a change for our family.
Exactly.
So what advice would you give to a woman who used to be like me, where maybe the relationship is not that great and she wants a relationship with her father, and how to move forward?
Let it go. Let the bitterness, let the unawareness, the unsureness, let it go. Because before you can feel anything, before you can be blessed and have the wonderful experience of having your father, you've got to cleanse yourself and you've got to open up your soul and your heart. to let that, and ask her. It's a wonderful feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling. And also, y'all got to get y'all dad's side of the story. A lot of time growing up, you only get your mother's side of the story, and that's not fair.
It's not.
You have got to hear both sides. So you got to be open-minded. I know if you were raised by your mom, you're going to be like, ride or die for your mama, but for yourself, for your future, you have to put that aside and be willing to just talk.
Start
I
out
feel like
with just
so
talking.
much happened when we just started talking.
Oh yeah. And we had to overcome some obstacles, believe me.
Yeah, a lot of
This wasn't a damn cakewalk in the park. But all I had in my mind was, I want my daughter. And I want my daughter to love me. And I'm all she's got. Her mother's gone. And it's my turn now. You know,
so
for me to step up.
You're right. And when I called you, because I think I was 18 when I called, 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And I called you and let you know my mom passed away. Like, what went through your mind when you realized that you were my only living parent at that point?
I cried.
Now, did you cry more out of hurting for me, or did you cry more? Did you feel like you still loved my mom, or maybe had a place in your heart for mom? Like, what was the reason behind that? I ain't finna make no gangster. We are not crying right now, Daddy. We're not doing it. If you cry, I'm crying. We're not doing it.
All right.
We gangsters, you know, we gangsters.
I'm okay. I'm good. A good man will cry. Don't mean it.
Oh yeah, if you did cry, I wouldn't be like, oh, you crying. But I'm just saying, like,
I didn't get to tell your mother I was sorry.
Ooh, you made me cry. Ooh.
And so you have to. That's what I'm saying, man. There's no one way to do life, because life has so many twists and turns. You're not going to get them all right. You're not going to get them all right.
Yeah.
So when you told me she passed, you know, that was the first thing I thought, because, you know, your mother was a good mother. I have not one bad.
She was an amazing mother.
I can understand some of the things she did or whatever, you know, but I would never, ever say a bad word about your mother. So I didn't get a chance to do that, and then there was you, and I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I was in a truck going down a mountain.
Oh my God.
Okay, and there was nowhere. I'm balling. There's nowhere for me to pull over on this big old mountain and my rig. You know what I'm saying? And I was just devastated.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So you were just kind of like shocked.
Yeah, in life, sometimes there are moments where you just don't know what to do at that moment. You know. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's and see, this is why I'm big on, like, we don't know what's promised tomorrow.
We don't know.
Like, you know, that's why for me, I've forgiven my child's father. Like Elijah's father, I have forgiven him. I hold no ill feelings towards him. I wish him totally the best in his life and endeavors. Like, I realized I cannot continue to hold on. I would hate to have something happen to him and then I feel guilty and feel like, oh, I wish I would have. That's why I've learned to let go now. Let go now. And that's powerful that you said that. And that's really inspiring and lets people like me know that I've made the right decision to forgive.
That's right.
You have to forgive for you. You know, you guys were not given the opportunity to be able to speak and put everything aside and be able to move forward.
Exactly. I mean, you can't see around the corner till you get around the corner. And that's what life is, corners. There's never a straight and narrow road without a corner.
So we got to deal with it as it comes.
Deals with it as it comes.
Well, I'm telling you, like, at this point in my life, like I said, I love you so much. I love how when I'm going through things, I can come to you and you're really the only man I trust that will give me the real deal and the real advice. I feel like I'm in such a good place in my life. I feel like I'm moving into such a new chapter and just ready to I feel like I've been a little bit hard-headed. I feel like it's certain things you told me.
You think? What?
And it's true. Your father knows. So my best advice I would give to lady, listen to your father. Like, if you have your father in your life, if your father say, this ain't it, that's not it.
That's right.
If your father say, don't do this, don't do it. If he say, do this, then do it. Like, y'all really do know.
You know, as a father, you allow your daughters or sons to come to you. You know, you don't chase after them. Let them come to you. You get better results when your kids come to you and want to sit down and talk to you. And that's what I did with my baby here. I leave her alone. I don't judge her. I don't give an opinion on something until she comes to me and says, Dad. And then that's when I speak my piece. And it's just a learning process. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
Just because you're someone's parents, you have to be respectful to the process.
Yeah.
Life is just a process of many processes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Many processes.
I've learned.
Yeah. And listen, Facebook, I'm going to have me a whole, I got some more Hennessy in there.
You got some more Hennessy in
Oh,
there?
I'm going to
I'm
drink
drinking
me a
on some
drink.
tequila. He drinking on
That
some
was a
Hennessy.
drink.
So, Daddy,
Yeah.
tell us about your music. Tell us where we can find your music. I know you've recently did a music video. I'm going to be putting a link to the video in the description, but tell us about some new projects you have coming out. Y'all, this man is the most amazing saxophonist you will ever meet. So tell us, Daddy, how we get in touch with Tony Chambers, saxophone man?
Okay, listen. Well, first of all, if y'all hear me out there, I want everyone to go to Tony T. Chambers on YouTube and check out my new video called Mr. Right. And the song Mr. Right is what we're talking about today. Slide to Mr. Right when Mr. Left ain't doing shit. Slide right on to Mr. Right. I'm going to take care of you. Straight up. Let me say it again. Slide to Mr. Right when Mr. Left ain't doing shit. Because I tell you ladies, if he ain't going to do it right, there's some brothers out there just as hungry for love as you. And they will treat you right. So slide
I'm a firm believer in that.
That's right.
So your advice as women is get a new man.
Get a new man. Hey, don't waste your time with foolishness. Don't waste your time with brothers. Well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you don't have anything to see what the hell they're doing.
Well, Daddy, you know what? I know I get all your OG wisdom and advice, but I'm really thankful that you decided to agree to share your OG wisdom and advice with the channel. I'm grateful, they grateful. Like I said, I'm going to link some of his music down below. So, Daddy, are you available? Like, if somebody wants you to play sax at their wedding, are you available for stuff like that still, or you got other things going on?
I play for butt-naked parties. I play for anything if you got my feet. Okay? You can reach me at Tony T. Chambers at LL.com. Tony T. Chambers at LL.com. Hit me up. I'll hit you back. We can talk about it. I'll play for anything, anywhere. Listen. The next video called Do You,
I'm going to be in it.
She's going to be doing a dance for her dad, and it's just going to be off the chain. So thank y'all for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Daddy. Thank you so much.
I love you so much, my love.
Favorite.
That's
y'all,
it, baby.
I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I feel like we need this. We need some father-daughter energy here on the tube. Some black love going on here. Y'all, please like the video. Please comment something that you got from this video that you found valuable. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one.